So, what happens when the helicopter bear meets Alana Swan? Hey guys, Han here from Where the Helicopter Bear Meets a Papa Bear. It's a helicopter bear, and today's video is going to be pretty awesome, pretty special. It's been literally like months in the making. It is my first collab video with another reseller, with another YouTuber. She goes by the name of Alana Swan, and if you're not familiar with her channel, I'm gonna put all her information in the box thingies below. Basically, we have been at this for months trying to get this collab together, and it's gonna be very, very awesome. What we decided to do was, our entire collab is actually split into two parts. We have part one, which is on her channel. So if you haven't watched part one, or if you want to know what part one is, I suggest pausing this, open up a new tab, go to the comments, the comments, the box thingy below. Go ahead and watch part one on her channel, and then come and watch part two on my channel. It's trust me, you're going to love this collab, guys. I loved it. She's pretty awesome. Her channel is pretty awesome. So while you're there, please do me a favor and subscribe, hit the bell icon, and also in the little comments, please type, just as a really fun joke for me, the helicopter bear was here. Please just type that in her comments. I just need to, it's kind of like a little Zorro mark, you know, like the Z. So guys, once you've finished watching part one, come over here, watch part two. Here's the video. Let's start it.
This was a very, very interesting, like, spring for, Poshmark and stuff. Like the algorithm changes. How did that affect you?
Yeah, it definitely has slowed sales here and there. It's such a tough thing with all the factors that come into play. Like, there are times when I know I haven't been listing that much, and Poshmark is going through an identity crisis. So it's like, it's hard to only blame Poshmark sometimes when I'm like, I know I haven't been doing as much as I normally would or something. So, but I definitely have seen a decrease in sales overall. I think, especially with the, what was it, relevance, or where they were switching up so it wasn't just shared. So I don't know. I think Poshmark definitely seems to be trying things out. They went public however long ago now, so I think it was bound to happen that sellers were going to see a fluctuation in sales. But yeah, it's been rough. Like the last couple months, partially because I was on vacation, but things were slow. Sales were slow.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think once I was looking at like my sales and stuff, and I think I went for like 3 weeks or so without a single sale at one point.
Wow, yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to figure out like what to do, because for us, it kind of put a dent in. That's why I decided to take a break or whatever. It kind of put a dent on us being, for us being YouTubers, because we're kind of like, hey, we're teaching people how to make sales and stuff, but this was out of our own control. So it was kind of like, I had a list of videos that I was like, I'm gonna make these, and then all of a sudden it happened, and I was like, I can't make these because I don't want to be that YouTuber who's like, hey guys, this is how to make sales. And I was dry for like this many weeks. So then I started like branching out on like different types of videos that I wanted to make, and I started just experimenting and stuff like that. But I think I'm, now that I'm getting back into it, it's getting back to like, okay, this is, I kind of had to pivot. Instead of being like, this is how to make sales, it had to be more or less like hey guys, I know we're slow. This is what I'm gonna try to do to see what I can
Yeah.
do to jumpstart like
Mhm.
this. Did it affect you any whenever you were making videos and stuff?
A little. I always have in the back of my head that like I want to very much be like just a part of the reselling community that makes videos. I don't necessarily always feel like I have um, the most knowledge to share or like the most experience, but just being honest, I guess, about where I'm at, and like what's really not working or what is working. But there's also at the same time, like there's always going to be people who are newer. So I know that I do have, things to share, but I think it does make it tough sometimes because I don't ever want to feel like, I'm just making a video to like, or just, I don't know, just to like, I don't know where I was going with that
Like
train of thought, but
like just to make a video just because you like want views or whatever.
Right, for sure. Yep.
I don't know if you've ever, encountered some of YouTubers like that you're like, this isn't, you're just like spewing out something that isn't true and stuff. And, I feel you on that because I'm kind of in the same boat. I just, I think pivoting our channels to just being like about our experience is helping out a lot because like I think I even made one video once and I was very honest. I was like, guys, like my motivation is just like slipped and I had people comment just being like, hey, it's okay, and stuff. And I was like, oh, thank you guys. Thank you, strangers on the internet.
Yeah. I think it's like people want to see that too because a lot of times, I know for me, like I have to be pretty particular with who I watch or what types of videos because it's very easy to like compare or feel down when someone's like, I made 30,000 in sales this month. And I'm like, I didn't even make 1,000 this month or whatever. Like some months are awful and some are really good. But in either case for me, I've still not ever gotten close to that. So it's hard sometimes to watch that. But so with that being said, I think people do like that honesty that sometimes things suck and it's like sales are slow and we all go through it.
And I mean, I also feel like those people are making like 30,000 a month or so. Their closets are so large that they also have an entire team behind them.
Yeah.
Like I know like the bigger resellers like Mogi or like Risen and stuff like that have entire teams like behind them. And then they probably also have marketing dollars to like, like put some of their revenue into like marketing and stuff.
Plus, or go ahead.
I was gonna completely go on.
I was just gonna say, plus we like this might be like obvious, but we all start with like different resources, and it's you never actually fully know what someone else has that or what kind of money they're able to put up front. That's definitely one of my biggest struggles is having enough capital to continue buying inventory when sales are slow and I'm not selling a ton. It's hard to keep putting money in, so I think there's just so many factors.
And I think that is such a real thing, is like, because some people look at these bigger resellers and are like, I want to get to that level and stuff. And, you don't understand, like some of them started off the gate, like buying a pallet.
Yeah.
And then like, that's how they like just jump started like that versus, just buying pieces here and there, like little pieces and stuff. With me, whenever I started, luckily, I had my sister who had been doing it for, quite some time. So she was like, avoid doing this. So she was like, she would go to like the bins, with us and teach us like, okay, these are the brands, try this brand, try that brand and stuff. So like, I had a pretty nice and like decent jump off, which, I'm very, very like grateful for that. And like now I'm to the point that it's kind of like, okay, I know this, I know that, and I know how to pretty much like navigate through a lot of this. Like the only hindrance is pretty much Poshmark going through its midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So.
It definitely is. What advice would you give to like a brand new reseller or someone who doesn't have like really any knowledge about reselling?
Probably 3 things. Number 1 is research, but also whenever you're researching, go in with the mindset of being, because I always tell like my audience, like what works for me might not work for you. So go into that, when you're researching, it's great, but also realize like different factors work for different people. Like for instance, I know you're more up north. I'm in Texas, so that's probably why sandals sell a lot for me, is because I'm in a lot warmer weather versus you probably may be selling, if you're to do boots and stuff, more boots than me. Like me, boot season is strictly probably like November, December, when it actually is very, very cold. But it's only cold for like 2-3 months, or like 2 months here. So it's sort of like do your research, but also realize where geographically you are. Number 2 is organization. Be very, very organized, because what happens is sometimes, reselling, I feel like you get to that point, like you just get to that top point, and once you hit that point, it kind of skyrockets a little bit. And if you weren't prepared for that, it can get, very overwhelming to be like, oh, I remember at one point, I think I had like maybe 10 orders. And if I wasn't organized, I would have been like, oh my God, especially newer, I was like, oh God, I don't know, like trying to organize where this is, and stuff like that. And then the third one is patience.
Yes.
I've talked to a lot of people who are like, oh, I want to do, make money on the side. And, reselling is not a get rich quick scheme.
Right.
It pays off, but it's not a instantly like, oh, okay. It's not like, like the stock market or crypto market. It's like in one day you can become like this. No, it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of building at that foundation. And then it's like a tree. You just build the foundation, and you see, and then it just gradually gets
plant the seeds. Yes, for sure.
What about you?
Those are all great. I agree with all of those. I definitely think research is huge. Checking comparable sold prices. The Google Lens app is like my best friend when I'm out thrifting, so I highly recommend that. It's such a quick way to like see even just the name of the item, and then you can do a little more research. But a lot of times will bring you to someone who's already selling the item and how much they have it priced at. So it helps to, find out more about the item, what it's selling for, what it's sold for, how recent it sold for, all of those things. So I think that is huge. I didn't really do that a ton when I first started. I would just pick stuff up based on like what I liked, or like brands I'd heard other people say kind of did well. And then I would also say utilize free resources. I did not know about the shipping labels. That's great to know.
That, by the way.
What?
I said I need to send you
yes,
that.
Please do. But the like USPS boxes and envelopes and even like packaging tape, or they have like the labels, you could use this tape. I think using free resources is great, and keeping it like as low cost as possible to increase profit. And probably thrifting at, or like sourcing at the bins to start off, just because the risk is so much lower. It took me a long time to finally go to the bins because I was so like intimidated by it. But then like once I did, I was like, I'm never going back to,
Yes,
you know,
right.
it's so like helpful to be able to source inventory for such a low cost. So those are some. And then, yeah, I think patience is huge, especially if you're just starting out. You've got so much to figure out. So it's just being patient with the process.
Yes. Before like we get, because I'm looking and I see we're like closer to an hour.
Yeah.
Before we get to that point, this is gonna be the third time I'm gonna ask because
Oh gosh.
can you please go over your tutorial on how you take pictures of your items? And it's mostly because I'm gonna have to tackle my dead pile, and a lot of it is clothes. And I was
you do have clothes in the dead pile. I was gonna say, how do you have that many shoes just like stowed away somewhere?
So half of it, you know, great part is buying a house. We have 4 bedrooms, so like
nice.
I
Got
have
space. Yeah.
But another part is like with my shoes, I think I have like 2 or 3 huge containers of like shoes and stuff. But I have a huge 1 or 2 of just clothes. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me go get.
Is to tackle them. So,
I'll get an item to measure to show you. Okay. All right. So I did want to say I use a normal tape measure to measure my clothes, which I think potentially is frowned upon. I know it's definitely more precise to use like a fabric tape measure, but for me to actually do it, I found I really need this because then I can just hold it and then like I just put my thumb at it and take a picture and just like it just makes it so much easier for me. So I think it's pretty exact still because no one's ever said otherwise. I've never gotten a complaint. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. You can also use a like fabric one. Do you have a fabric? Like
I do have a fabric. I actually have both.
Okay, nice. So you can do either.
Yeah, I go super dad mode around, so I build things. So I have both. Got you.
Okay, so for like jeans, shorts, anything like that, pants, I do the waist, which is just the top part here, and you just go across the top, and then the rise, which is from the top down to, there's usually like a seam right here, so it's just from there to there, and then the inseam is from that same line to the very end. So this is like a 2-inch inseam. For pants, it's usually like 26 inches or 27 inches. So those are the 3.
All right.
Yep. Pretty simple. This is even easier. There's only 2, and there are so many other measurements you can include, but these are like the basic ones to see how the item will fit. And so those are the ones I stick to. So then for tops, I do armpit to armpit. So you just like, you know, it's easier when it's hanging up. And then shoulder to hem. Shoulder to hem. And then it's like, except straight. Yeah. So, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. Wow. For tops, just those 2. And then for bottoms, I usually only do the 3, sometimes hips also. But it's pretty easy. I feel like you'll be able to knock it out.
Yeah, no, I was making it way complicated. I was maxing out on like the 15 pictures and just like measurements and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it was that easy, no.
Yeah, keep it simple, right?
It's going to be a lot easier for me to do my dead pile. So,
good.
Just let me own it. In like a month, just be like, Colin, have you tackled your dead pile?
I'll check in. Yeah.
Yes. Just to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can closing this out. Since we were doing this in summer, and summer is naturally a slowdown, and also with Poshmark doing its thing, I expect this to be a very, very brutal summer. For us, but how do you plan on, like, for one, keeping yourself motivated to resell, but for 2, how do you also plan on combating those slow sales?
to stay motivated, I think it does really help to have a few people that also resell. Like, I love to be able to catch up with you, just see how sales are going. I have a couple friends who also resell who I can kind of check in with. And so that definitely helps me stay motivated. And it being like one of my sources of income, I think, how can you not be right now with gas prices, groceries?
Oh my God. Yes.
Life is so expensive right now. So I think that's a motivation enough. But yeah, I think a lot of it to kind of combat the slow sales, more so than just that, it's for me, it's like keeping my costs down, which primarily means sourcing at the bins, not taking high risks with, you know, whether it's retail arbitrage or buying stuff at the consignment sort of flip where you're spending a lot more. That's not something I'm probably going to do much of this summer. And then also, I really plan to probably start sourcing for fall and winter by like July, just so that by the time those months come, it's like, you know, I have a lot ready to go. And the last quarter of the year does tend to be like my busiest, and the sales or like my revenue's the highest just because the items I'm selling are higher profit. So yeah, I think all of that, but otherwise just staying consistent and listing regularly and all of that just to keep things moving. What about you?
With me, number one is tackle my dead pile.
Yeah.
Because I think that's gonna help. I also pay attention to my like delisting and relisting of my closet and stuff, because you know it's like every like 60 days it's twice to do that, and since I use Posher VA, it's very, very easy. I think also for me, especially keeping myself motivated, weirdly enough, what keeps me motivated is actually making videos, because the way my videos are based is it's I have to do things in order to get the knowledge of how this works.
Right.
So experimenting to be like, okay, because like for instance, the other day I set my delisting from, because instead of 60 days, I was like items that were like 20 days, you know, like I just did a batch, and all of a sudden, because I did that batch, I actually gained like it jumped me back into the algorithm, and I actually like made a sale just because I like delist and relist, you know, an item and stuff. But you know, making videos has actually kept me motivated and stuff, and I think just looking at trends to be like, okay, that's gonna be cool for this, you know, like for the summer. With shoes, it's I think shoes to me is a little bit easier than clothes, because just because when people are looking for shoes, they're like in that mindset of like, I want me a good pair of shoes and stuff. So they're very, very, I feel like whenever someone is interested in like buying stuff from me, it's more or less like they either just buy it straight out, or they're like, hey, I'm going to offer you this. And then usually the offer is really good.
Yeah.
When Poshmark got really, really horrible, that's when a bunch of low ballers came through.
Yeah.
I don't know if you experienced that, but it was, yes, you did experience that.
I did, yeah. We both
hey.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily for me, that has calmed down, that, you know, I haven't experienced that and stuff. But I think also like this being a source of income, because I use it to pay for my daughter's schooling.
Yeah.
That's also motivation. Because I'm like, okay, well, yes.
That's big motivation. Yeah.
But I think that's kind of like keeping, you know, me motivated and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's really
taking breaks as well.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I believe in, you know, even if it's just a few days, just like take a break. That's helped me out a lot, and just kind of, you know, like, okay, let's jump back into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed too with like having Poshmark as an app on your phone, like the same way I might like open Instagram and just be on Instagram for a minute. It's so easy to click on the app and just like check throughout the day, but sometimes it's like that's just more exhausting than anything, and it doesn't actually matter if I look 20 times a day or once a day at, you know, sales or whatever. But yeah, breaks are great. I need to take more breaks.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, but no, this is good.
Yes, I know. We ought to do this again at some point down the line. Maybe
I agree.
Towards the end of summer.
Yeah, I was gonna say closer towards fall and see how each other's like summer. Summer.
Hopefully the summer slowdown isn't terrible.
Yes.
I'm curious how it's going to be just across the board for people. Just with the change, everything is kind of, you know, shifting and has been. So I'm curious if more people will be coming to resale markets or if more people will just go thrifting themselves for stuff that they want. I'm really, I'm curious to see.
Yeah, no, I am too. And I think also with like everything like in our world just being inflated, that, you know, also breaks into it. So I'm just interested to see like how everything happens as well.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know, I mean, for sure, I'm gonna be reselling for like the hot minute. So.
Same. Yep, I'm planning to be reselling for years to come. So here we go. We're doing it.
Alrighty.
Cool.
This is a good conversation.
Yes.
We should do this, you know.
We'll do it again for sure.
Yes. But all right. You have a wonderful rest of the day.
You too. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, if y'all like that video, please hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Go over to Alana's YouTube channel. It's going to be in the box thingy, and then I'm also going to put it as my top comment. Go over there, and, you know, as I said, just write, Helicopter Bear was here, Helicopter Bear was here, or Helicopter Bear sent me. And guys, if y'all want to see me do more collabs with, you know, more people in the reselling community, put it in the comments below. Put who y'all want me to reach out to, and I'll reach out to them and see if I can, you know, just start doing more collabs, because this was super fun for me. So till the next video, y'all have a good one.